the reason why I chose this topic is that that's the most common question I get, whether it be, in the Q&A sessions we do for webinars, whether it's in our coaching strategy meetings I do one-on-one with potential clients. I get that question from my clients. And it usually goes something like this, Naren. Hey, Gary, I've been listening to your Less Insurance Dependence podcast, and I really like the direction that you help dentists go to reduce insurance dependence. And, I've got, again, this is a typical kind of dialogue that I hear in discussions with dentists. They'll say, I've got 12, 14 plans. And I know I need to start reducing them. And I think after listening to the Less Insurance Dependence, I think I can successfully resign from most of them, but I'm really concerned about Delta. They're the 5,000-pound gorilla. They're the largest in our practice. They've got meaning the most number of active patients are on Delta. They're the largest insurance company in their area. And usually what I hear is, we've got school teachers, we've got first responders, we have police, fire, we have federal, state, and local government employees, and then many private businesses have Delta. So I just don't know if I can resign from Delta. And so I tell them, well, wait a minute, you're many steps ahead. Let's start by resigning from these other plans, kind of piece by piece. Let's see how it goes. And then when we get to Delta, then we can make that decision. And remember, we call it reducing insurance dependence as opposed to going fee for service. This isn't called the going fee for service podcast. It's called the Less Insurance Dependence podcast. Intentionally. That wasn't an accident. That's just not nomenclature, Naren.
Yes, 100% Gary.
And the reason for that is you don't have to go all the way to fee for service to significantly improve your practice. Heck, every time you successfully resign from a plan, you have improved your practice. It has gotten better. But likewise, I always say to my clients, if your goal is to go fee for service, then I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. And again, back to this dialogue, well, Gary, I don't know if I can resign from Delta. I mean, I would sure like to, but I just know if I can't. And so I say, well, then we'll make massive progress, a massive improvement on your practice along the way. And you might just discover what so many of my clients have. So now imagine that we've been working together. We did all the prep. We did all the training. We mastered marketing to get new patients, to replace Delta as a source of new patients. Imagine all that's happened. And now we're looking at Delta, and then, we'll have a Zoom meeting and I'll say, hey, let's take a look. What do you think? He said, so here's how that discussion goes. Gary, even though Delta's the big dog, when I look at all my other plans, collectively, there were more patients in all these other, when you total them up, than on Delta. And look at how well we've done with resigning. We've done really well. And if we have the same result with Delta, then guess what? I think I can successfully resign from Delta. And so it's gone from, I don't know, in the beginning, I don't think I could do this. But then they walk the path, and they go on that journey and discover that, wait a minute, we did it with all these other plans. I think we could do this with Delta. And, we talk about it. I give them some analytics that I give them my feedback on data. And I look at marketing. If they've successfully replaced Delta with another source like, Google, then, man, I'm putting my thumb up going, green light, let's do this. Let's do this. And many times that is their decision. And they go all the way to fee for service, even though in the beginning they were thinking, I'm not sure. So that's historically what's happened in my client base. And the same can happen to you. The same process could happen to you. And so the answer to that, this is a long-winded answer. Can I successfully resign from Delta? And the honest answer is, it depends. It depends. But certainly our experience has been, yes, with an asterisk next to it, provided, you have all the, all the readiness in place, you've done all the training, you have all the analytics in place that says, wait a minute, yes, I can do this. And most of our clients make that decision, even though, as I mentioned earlier, anytime you drop a plan, you made an improvement in your practice.
Absolutely. And I think one thing I have noticed in our mutual clients, even who go through this all the way, meaning not just resigning from the other plans, but eventually resigning from Delta, is the confidence they get that they don't need Delta anymore, meaning they're getting new patients from marketing that is more than the number of new patients they get from Delta. So that way they know that, hey, I could take that Delta patient, give half of what I make to Delta in the form of write-offs and stuff, or I could take this other new patient and keep all the money. So, I think that confidence, so it's almost like, like a child who has never, jumped into a pool, right? That's, deeper than how tall the child is afraid of jumping into that pool. But eventually, maybe he or she knows how to, float. And then eventually he has that confidence to say, yep, I can do this.
Yeah. And it goes from feeling like, when you're contracted to a Delta, you feel like a victim.
Right.
I can't control my fees. Inflation comes and I can't raise my fees to counteract inflation because in fact, Delta's going the other way. They're lowering fees. You feel like a victim. You go from the victim mindset to I'm in control. I can do this and I'm in control. And it makes all the difference in the world in the practice. And we can point to practices in every state, all 50 states, yes, that have successfully resigned from Delta. And now, why in the world would you want to have, think of Delta as a partner, in your practice? Why in the world would you want to have a business partner in your practice? The business partner that pays you, that has no interest in your success. Why in the world would you want to partner with someone like that? And that's what you're partnering with. You're partnering with an entity that is trying to commoditize dentistry, trying to drive to the lowest common denominator. A crown's a crown's a crown. Everything, it's the cheapest possible solution. Why would you want to partner with them? And I think if you reflect on that, you're going to say, you're right. There's no reason for me to partner with Delta. They're the 5,000-pound bully. I'm going to go a different direction because continuing down that path is not going to lead to a thriving practice. It's not going to lead to a practice that provides personal, professional, and financial satisfaction.